Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you are interested in today's video. In more than 4 years, almost no one is optimistic about Huawei's results as a company against the world's most powerful country. The encounters between Toshiba and Alstom in the past seem to be still vivid. Those enemies were waiting for Huawei to choose to compromise and fail, but they did not expect the final result to shock everyone. How is the global communication equipment market share distributed? According to the Global Communication Equipment Market Share in 2022 released by the authoritative third-party data statistics agency Dell'Oro Group, although it has suffered setbacks and lost part of its market share, Huawei is still far ahead with a market share of 29%. Summary for 2022. It is not easy for Huawei to achieve this result. Many people know that the blockade of Kirin chips has led to a significant reduction in Huawei's mobile phone shipments. Huawei's smartphone business, which once defeated Samsung to take the world's #1 in 2020, has also been hit hard. According to the momentum of Huawei's mobile phones, defeating Samsung should have been the starting point for Huawei's complete takeoff, but it was unexpected that because of the lack of chip manufacturing, even if Huawei can design Kirin, it can compete with Qualcomm Snapdragon chips and Apple A-series chips. Excellent product but can't make it. The loss of smartphones is a huge loss for Huawei, but few people have noticed that in addition to the mobile phone business, Huawei's fundamental business, the communications field, has also launched an attack. Including Verizon, the largest operator in the United States, AT&T, the second largest operator, and T-Mobile US, the third largest operator, have chosen Samsung as a communication equipment supplier, trying to support Samsung to replace Huawei in the communication field through this means. Compared with the mobile phone business, the communication business is the most important area for Huawei. Samsung won 6.6 billion orders from operator Verizon. Once upon a time, the domestic communication market was dominated by NEC and Fujitsu in Japan, Lucent in the United States, Ericsson in Sweden, Siemens in Germany, BTM in Belgium and Alcatel in France. The 8 communication giants in these 7 countries were also known as it is 7 countries and 8 systems. The incompatible formats between them have also caused difficulties in the domestic communication market, and the backwardness in the communication field has also become an unfavorable factor hindering domestic development. Huawei is at the darkest moment when domestic communication equipment manufacturers are declining, and the 7 countries and 8 systems are rampant. Huawei, which started from scratch, has no fear of facing the 8 giants that are all ranked in the world's top 500. Instead, it takes advantage of localization and a more professional technology and service attitude to gradually take over from the 8 giants. Market back. Huawei's R&D investment ranks second in the world. Since Huawei was established in 1987, it has been deeply cultivating in the field of communications. It has gradually accumulated powerful technologies from nothing. In the field of communications, more than 110,000 patents have become Huawei's biggest reliance and weapon against giants such as Cisco, Nokia, and Ericsson. In 2021, Huawei also ranks second in the world with a research and development investment of $142.7 billion. Sufficient investment in technology research and development has also become Huawei's own confidence. Now Huawei has become the world's most powerful communication equipment manufacturer. It has also become history. It is precisely with the help of the powerful technologies and patents accumulated in the communication field that Huawei has entered the smartphone market all the way and defeated Samsung in 2020 to become the world's largest smartphone manufacturer. Huawei, which has strong technology in the communication field, faces Samsung, Apple, Xiaomi, and other smartphone manufacturers, which can be said to be a dimensionality reduction blow in terms of call quality and network stability. The cutoff of Kirin chips is indeed a major blow to Huawei, but as long as Huawei's technology is in the leading position in communication technology and becomes the standard maker, then with the improvement of the domestic chip industry chain, there will be more and more domestic chips. Chip companies stand at the foreground and become Huawei's helping Kirin chips to be reborn from nirvana. Samsung provides 5G solutions to Verizon. Therefore, supporting Samsung through the three major operators of Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile USA is actually trying to defeat Huawei from the root. But 4 years have passed, and although Huawei's market share has declined, its 29% share is still nearly 10 times that of Samsung's 3%. The three major operators of Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile USA using Samsung's solution have encountered problems such as slow 5G progress, limited signal coverage, and high network deployment costs, which not only affect the layout and promotion of 5G, but also make consumers are caught up in the problem of high tariffs. However, Samsung, which has won a large number of contracts, does not have enough technical strength and level to carry out network construction perfectly. In the end, the progress of networking is far lower than the original expectation, and the market share is only a poor 3%. Seeing that Samsung, after the poor performance of the three major operators in the United States in the construction of the network, other operators around the world are also discouraged from Samsung. Global communication equipment market share. Data will not lie, and hard work will not lie. It is undeniable that Samsung has advantages in storage and screen fields. However, in the field of communication, which is closely related to smartphones, Huawei's advantages over Samsung can be said to be crushing. Even with the three major US operators, even though it gave Samsung 4 years, the final result is that Huawei won the final victory with an undisputed advantage. Taking the number 1 in the world again is not only a huge victory for Huawei, but also for all other domestic companies. After the fall of Toshiba, Alstom and other companies, Huawei proved that in addition to choosing to surrender, China can choose to resist. And Huawei also used this world's first to prove that it is feasible to choose to resist this path. The road to ultimate victory is bound to be difficult. Lenovo, Xiaomi and other companies have chosen a simpler road. In the short term, they may go more steady and smooth, but in the long run, choosing human-bound solutions also make them uncapped. Huawei has chosen a more difficult path, but with its continuous accumulation in the technical field, although it has encountered difficulties and obstacles for a while, under the accumulation of accumulation, Huawei will eventually be reborn from nirvana and fly high.